Hi, this is Dennis Fletcher of the Valley Chronicle and also Hemet News. We're here with Stacie Olson, who's running for District 2 for City Council of Hemet. And we've got a couple questions for you, Stacie. The first one is, what do you think of this format of having candidates come into basically, I think this is a senior retirement park, isn't it?
Yes. Four Seasons is a gated community only for seniors. It is an absolutely beautiful community with wonderful people. I pretty much asked for this, to be honest, because it wasn't going to be done. And I said, you know what, I think it's only fair because it's a gated community. I'm not allowed really to come in and to market this area with my materials, with my information. So it left me really out of the game. And so I asked if we, can we do something? I mean, and they said, a lot of people who were in here, actually through the Nextdoor app, were saying, yeah, we would love to meet you. We would love for you to come. So that's kind of how that took its path. And they set this up. I would say one thing about it, though, is that it was all set up by all of Russ's friends, which is fine. I knew that would happen, and that's okay.
Lucky for you.
It's okay because I was still heard. And but both of the moderators were friends, and the one who set it up was friends, and they're all campaign supporters. And so it was a little bit uneven. But that's okay. That's okay with me. No problem there. A great group of people, and I feel really honored and blessed to be here anyways.
Well, I think everybody knew that you were maybe a little bit the role of the underdog or the outsider, and it might have actually played to your advantage to have you look so relaxed and comfortable and confident in this environment. So that kind of worked to your advantage.
Yeah, well, like I said tonight, is that a lot of people said, oh my gosh, you are really brave. You were really brave going into kind of the lion's den, going into Russ's territory. And my response to that is, you're absolutely right. I am brave. I'm a very brave individual. I have no problems saying when it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, it's wrong. Standing up for things, not being intimidated, not being pushed around, standing for what's right. And I have no problems being courageous in going out on the streets and taking care of business, hands-on. So they were absolutely right. I am brave.
And Stacie, what did you think? I commented to Adam McQueen, who was running for school board, that I thought of all the remarks tonight, the one that stood out the most was your comment that anybody could drive around Hemet and look at the names on the most decrepit buildings, and it would be the same name. Everybody else had kind of predictable things to say, but I thought that was rather a unique and original statement. How did you feel about what you heard tonight? Did you hear anything that you thought was unique or different that one of the other candidates had to say?
Well, I thought there were a lot of political answers. I'm not going to give you political answers. I'm just not. It sounds good, but how is that working for our city? Hearing the same political statements over and over and over again about our approaches to homelessness and our approaches to making things happen. It hasn't been working. So we have to do something different, and getting away from the political jargon and the political words is what I bring to the table. I'm hands-on, and so some of the interesting comments, there were a lot of interesting comments, and some of them behind the scenes as well.
I'm going to ask you one other question that I asked you before when we did this format at Del Zarape restaurant a few weeks ago, and that was, if you're elected and you arrive at the first city council meeting, what's one of the first things that you would like to do or see accomplished once you're installed in office?
The very first thing is to get rid of the homeless task force. In the 2.5 years that I was a part of that, there were no tasks given at all to any of us. In fact, at the last council meeting on Tuesday night, Bonnie Wright, who is the head of that homeless task force, which has been put together now for over 3 years, she said that the homeless task force is at a stalemate. Those are her words. It's at a stalemate, meaning we're stuck. We don't know what to do. I know what to do. I've been doing it. As part of the homeless outreach team, the HOT group, we're already doing it. We have a 5-year action plan. We have over 200 volunteers. One of them, which is you, we're going into
That's
businesses, we're talking about panhandling, we are setting up with business owners with the right tools in order to combat that. We're taking people off the streets that want help. I just did 2 this week, one which was a veteran. That is the kind of action our city needs. We don't need people behind the desk anymore. We can't continue the next 2 years and the next 4 years like the last 2 years and the last 4 years have been. It's not working then. It's not going to work in the next 2 or 4 years. It's just not. We have to get aggressive. We have to get hands-on. There was a statement tonight made about the road on Warren in Devonshire, and how it's this big, long traffic line. And I agree. I actually complained to the city about it and asked them, what are we doing with that? Because the line is like 20 minutes long on any given day, and people don't wait. And when I say they don't wait, they find their own little alternate illegal routes to go, and it's very dangerous. And they told me, well, it's county road, and it's also city road, and blah, 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 and we're working on that. Well, that was quite some time ago, and Russ alluded tonight to doing the same thing. When he first got in council, which was February 2017, he made the same comment. What has been done? Absolutely nothing. How important was it to him that something get done on that? Obviously it wasn't. I think what we need to do is we need to start really pounding these people. We need to be on their case over and over and over again. We can't call them and say, what are we doing? And then let it sit for a year and a half and do nothing. We have to really push people in order to get things done.
Now, another question that somebody asked me to ask you was, were there any questions tonight that you would have liked to have been asked, issues that you would have liked to have been covered that you didn't have an opportunity to speak to?
I would, of course, like to have had a little bit more time to talk about my qualifications in the last 31 years in dealing with broken down, decrepit communities, and how I have been able to go in and transform those communities into flourishing communities where I've taken properties that were making $160,000 a month because you've got kids running amok, property is in disrepair, people not paying rent, you're spending tons of money on evictions, the tenants don't listen, you got parties. You can't get any quality tenants in there because it's such a mess. Being able to go in and do the work, analyze the situation, come up with a plan and an action, and then actually put that into motion, and taking a property that was making $160,000 a month and taking it way over $200,000 a month. That's what I bring to the table. And I really didn't get an opportunity to go in depth with that, but that is my experience, working with low income, working with people who are income challenged, working with minorities. That's my specialty, not just on the streets dealing with homeless, but in my 31 years experience, and doing it in a way that business owners and property owners don't lose money. And if they do, it's for a very short period of time. We've been able to establish those properties, make them beautiful again, and then that's when all the good tenants start knocking on the door. Hey, do you have something for rent here? That's what I bring to the table, and I didn't really get an opportunity to really share my experience.
You got a chance to say that.
Yes, so thank you, Denny. Thank you, my sleeping on the ground friend.
Yes, that's right. Occasionally I have that hit.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank Stacie Olson for staying after. If you looked around the room, you would, in fact, you can pan the camera around the room if you want to. You'll see nobody is here. The only person that stayed late to talk to me, representing the press, was Stacie Olson. We want to thank her for that. And of course, Stacie, we want to invite you back to talk to the Valley Chronicle anytime you want. You're welcome to come to our public meetings that we have at 4 o'clock on Wednesday.
Thank you.
And we'd love to have you come to the studios of Hemet News to talk to us anymore anytime you want, online and talking to us.
I appreciate it. I'm not afraid to stay late. I'm not afraid to work hours outside of city council hours. I'm not afraid in the evening to be called out to take care of business. I'm not afraid of the hard work that needs to be done.
Would you like to introduce our new guest that's arrived here?
And this is my son Elijah.
She is very respectable. She if you don't vote for her, then I probably will never be your friend.
Oh no, that's terrible.
But he's my friend because he likes my shoes.
Yes.
So from the three of us, We want to say thank you for checking in with our video. This is Dennis Fletcher from the Valley Chronicle and M News saying so long for now.